fucking scoot back a little so I guess so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch.
Welcome to Filmoscopy, a quaint little podcast where three best friends discuss movies that one of them has chosen for that episode. I am today's main host with the most, Lance. Am I giving a last name? No, I'm not. Lance.
No.
I am I am joined today by my other co-host, all the way over in Sparta, Mississippi, with Chief Gillespie, Owen. Owen, say hi to everybody.
Hi, how's it going?
And and I'm also joined today by Cody. How are you doing today, Cody?
I'm good. I just want to clarify that Owen is in Mississippi because he was transferred because none of the other people wanted to work with him, so they forced him into a partnership with someone who also didn't want to work with him.
Nobody wanted to have sex with me up in Tennessee. So.
Oh my God. Well, today is the day. Well, today's actually the eve of Cody's team and my team playing in real life, so it's going to be a little contentious. And it's also be kind of contentious because Cody literally is about to crap on a movie that literally everybody I know likes and or loves. So, today's episode's on Lethal Weapon, a movie that kind of sparked a franchise. Not kind of. I mean, they made 4 movies. There's a 5th one being made. And they had a TV series that was supposed to reboot it that was on Fox for like 3 seasons. But, anywho,
was a sequel called Too Lethal, Too Weapon?
I think it's called Lethal Finale or something like that. It's going to be an HBO Max type of deal, I think. So, hold on. Let me just catch my thoughts because my stomach's rumbling. I'm like, oh boy. So we go around. We go around and do... like, the first experience is usually for a movie. And I guess I'll start off in today's order. I'll go with Owen, then Cody, then myself. All right, Owen, what was your first experience with Lethal Weapon, this movie, and or the entire franchise?
When I watched it last week, I only knew about the plot to Lethal Weapon 2 because of that one episode of Family Guy where he says, just like the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 2, I got diplomatic immunity, so that means you can't sue. So
yeah, okay, I got you. That's pretty funny. I forgot Family Guy did that. It's actually that scene is really fucking cool at the end because he's like, diplomatic immunity, you can't arrest me, and then Danny Glover just blows his brains out anyway. It's really fucking cool. Cody, what was your first experience with the Lethal Weapon franchise?
Watching it about a week ago was my first time ever watching it. For me, the only thing I ever really hear about Lethal Weapon is it a Christmas movie or not? That's pretty much it.
I hear that about Die Hard too.
Yeah,
I think people officially consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. I think Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
What is it with like 80s action movies and like fucking Christmas? Like, what's the deal?
Well, this one was mainly written, I think it was touched up afterwards, by, fucking hell.
Kris Kringle.
Yeah, co-written
his
by...
name escapes me. Shane Black. And if anybody knows who Shane Black is, he wrote and directed The Predator that came out in 2018. He directed Iron Man 3. He's wrote a bunch of movies. He actually helped write this movie. Obviously, he wrote the majority of it, but he also wrote Predator. And he's the guy in Predator where he goes, "Hey, Billy, I was going down with my girlfriend. I said, I like a little pussy." And she goes, "Yeah, me too. Mine's as big as a house." And then Billy doesn't laugh. He goes, "Get it?" Because it was big as a house. And it's supposed to be this really stupid joke. And that's the guy. I know Cody's seen the movie one time at least. But I'm sure Owen's seen it. You remember that guy with the glasses? He made that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's Shane Black, and I think that's the only time he's ever like acted anything. But he does have like one of my favorite one-liners in that part when he's like, he said, I was going down with my girlfriend and said, "Geez, you got big pussy. Geez, you got big pussy." And my girlfriend goes, "Why'd you say it twice?" And I said, "I didn't. Because the echo." And then Billy just takes a minute and just busts out laughing. It's a fucking great part in that movie. I know Alex is laughing when I mention that, so fuck y'all. Anywho. But the guy who produced this movie he produced a lot of movies. This guy right here.
This guy.
Joel Silver, who, let me go ahead and pull up just a quick compilation of his movies that he's done. I mean, he produced like 48 Hours, Commando, Lethal Weapon, Predator, Die Hard, Lethal Weapon 2, Die Hard 2, Predator 2, Lethal Weapon 3,
Ghost Ship,
Lethal Weapon 4. I don't know if he did Ghost Ship or not.
He produced
Demolition Man. But he's done like a lot of, like, he did the Matrix movies, it looks like. Yeah, he produced those.
I mean,
literally any action movie from the 80s to like almost now. He produced, and he was executive producer on a lot of stuff. So he's one of those like big, like kind of like Harvey Weinstein, but hopefully he doesn't have the same issues.
But it is Hollywood.
Oh, wait, maybe he does.
Yeah, it is Hollywood.
Well, somebody. Okay, so he was exonerated, but this dude, somebody died in his boat or some shit like that from a
boat.
But this movie was directed by Mr. Richard Donner, who, if anybody doesn't know,
did Superman.
Yeah, he directed all 4 of the Superman movies. He directed what? No, he was executive producer. I'm like, holy shit, he was executive producer of The Lost Boys. But he did the Superman, the Goonies, Scrooged, Maverick. Maverick's a really good movie with Mel Gibson and a few others. Conspiracy Theory. Yeah. He unfortunately passed away, I think, last year. He was like 98 when he died. And he was actually working on this 5th Lethal Weapon movie. Like, he was going to direct it. And I think Mel has said that they were... I didn't listen to the whole thing because, I wasn't like super interested. It sounded kind of boring. But it was just Mel talking to a crowd of people sitting in a chair. I guess he was going over a piece of his career or whatever. And Mel said that Richard was like, "Kid, something happens to me. You're going to have to take over this movie." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Nothing. And then he, passed away. Because he was fucking 98 years old. Or 91, my bad. That was 7 years, whatever, same difference. Had a nice head of hair, though. Very nice head of hair. That's a really nice head of hair. Anyway, so this movie, it was originally, from what I understand, Mel Gibson's part was supposed to go to Bruce Willis. I think Bruce Willis chose to do another role, but like 2 years later, he hooked up with the same people and they did Die Hard. So, and I think this is Mel Gibson's like one of his first big hits after The Road Warrior, the Mad Max movies. And, of course, Danny Glover and Gary Busey, evidently, I was watching a bunch of, like, retrospectives about Lethal Weapon. Gary Busey, had a lull in his career before this. Like, he was, an inspiring Hollywood leading man, and it didn't work out. And so he was casted as the bad guy, and this kind of breathed new life into his career, which was kind of cool. But anyway, let me hit any other notes. Had a budget of $15 million. It made $120.2 million. And let's see here. The critical reception is 80% right now. Audience score is an A out of A+ to F.
You said it's an A? The audience score is an A?
Yes, the audience is polled by Cinema Score.
Right.
Gave the film an average grade of A on an A+ to F scale. And Metacritic, which I really don't know much about, is like a 68 out of 100, which is generally favorable reviews or whatever. Yeah, like I said, they were trying to do a reboot. I think they approached Mel Gibson to be a part of something, but they didn't want Donner, the director, to be part of it. And Mel was like, "No, we're not going to do that." So they end up making that reboot series on Fox, and it lasted like 3 years. And that was plagued with like some issues. I think the guy that was playing Mel Gibson's character got fired from the show, and they replaced him with somebody else. And then that lasted a season, and that was it. So now they're doing this nostalgia run one more time with this movie. Like I said, they made 4 other movies. My first experience, I guess I forgot to put this part. I grew up with these movies. I think the first one I remember watching was probably Lethal Weapon 3. And with Lethal Weapon 2, 3, and 4, Joe Pesci's in them. So they add a new element to it. And Joe Pesci's wonderful in these movies.
Oh, is he like an actual like good guy character? I saw him like in a screenshot for one of them, and I thought he was a villain.
No, he's not a villain. He's like the clumsy little buddy.
Oh,
Hey guys, there's a running bit over the 3 movies. He goes, "Hey guys, do you think I can get a gun?" And it cuts to another screen, and you hear them yell, "No!" And he ends up shooting himself in one of the movies by accident. He's fucking hilarious. He's Joe Pesci, because he's such a well-rounded actor. He can do anything. He is like fucking hilarious in these movies. Eventually, we're going to do these other movies because I think they're all real good. Cody will hate them, but it'll be fun. But yeah, my first experience was probably Lethal Weapon 3, just watching it with my parents. And then, like I said, home media wasn't like readily available at that point yet. Like we weren't able to go to Walmart and just pick up the DVD, you know. And it was VHS tapes, and you had to go to the mall to pick them up because we didn't have a Walmart at the time. So that was a little bit further out of town, and like I said, I was a kid. I don't have those details. I just remember I was probably like 7 or 8 before I watched those movies, and before my parents got them on VHS. And so I ended up watching them all in order at that point. And like I said, I love all 4 of these movies. But anyway, let's see here. You guys haven't said much. I feel like I've covered anything. You guys got any like notes or anything before when we jump into the plot?
I mean, I guess we can just go over our general overall impressions before we really start getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll go Owen. Like, just keep the order from getting all fucked up today.
Okay.
Owen, sir. Let me ask this question because I guess I didn't prepare by asking questions. What do you, Owen, feel like about the action genre, even the subgenre, buddy cop, like this is or whatever? Are you more inclined to watch these movies? You think they're kind of stupid or whatever? Because I know you love the first 2 Mad Max movies.
Yeah.
And then Mad Max 3 comes around. You said as soon as the kids come on screen and it goes more humorous, you're fucking out.
That shit pisses me off.
Kind of that way with Return of the Jedi too when the Ewoks show up. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I am. I hate it when the Ewoks show up. It pisses me off.
There's some people who legit get pissed off about the Ewoks, which is funny. But I'll go ahead and throw that to you. It's like, how are you on the action genre? Or just, movies that you just can have fun with, in my opinion. They don't have to be deep, like The Lighthouse. So
going into this, I thought it was going to be kind of dumb. Because, I don't know. I've seen Lethal, not really
Die
clips, but I like Die Hard, too. I like Die Hard. I think it's dumb, but I think it's fun. But, I've heard, references to Lethal Weapon and stuff, so I thought it would just be stupid. I know about I'm 9 days from retirement kind of shit. That's in the second one. Or I guess the 3. One.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I knew kind of all the bits and shit, so I thought it was going to be kind of by the numbers. And I think an element of this movie is I think the only reason why this movie can seem like it is by the numbers is because I think a lot of things have taken a lot of inspiration from this movie. But I was surprised by, how much I kind of enjoyed it. And, it was just kind of like a fun movie just to sit down and watch,
Okay, yeah. Which is awesome because it's funny when we do this podcast, started it, and it's kind of like the diagram you see where you see 3 circles and they intersect in one area and then the other 2 intersect with each other.
Yeah.
And, it's like that with us. Like, there's a lot of things that me and you like that Cody doesn't. There's a lot of things that me and Cody like that you don't. And there's a lot of things we all like together, which is cool. So I was kind of figuring that this was going to be. I really thought, because I know Cody's about to shit on it, but I'm not trying to. I just think it's funny. But I'm gonna let Cody finish before I tell him he's wrong.
Yeah, this movie has like I don't know. There's something about movies from this era that even if they are kind of like, oh, you know, a little cheesy and like, oh, it's Christmas Day and they're buddy cops and I don't know. It's kind of endearing in a way, you know. And I don't know. Yeah. I just really like movies from the 80s and 90s, I guess. Like even if they are kind of like just cheesy, like blockbuster, like, you know, shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like there is an aesthetic. Alex will know exactly what I'm talking about when he listens to this. And you know, if you go back and watch, I know Cody hasn't watched them all. I know you haven't either. But if you watch like the Friday the 13th movies,
yeah,
when you get to Friday the 13th Part 5, there's an aesthetic to. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on the Halloween episode, Cody. You got to remind me. There's an aesthetic to the film. Like, it just feels a little bit older than it should be.
Yeah.
Because Friday the 13th Part 5 comes out in 85. Well, Part 6 comes out in 86. 86 feels different than 85. Like, it was almost like their version of, like, when they finally switched to HD from, like, the basic picture you see on your television, so everything's a little bit more clearer. Yeah. And that's what it felt like. In this movie, kind of feels it still has that kind of early 80s aesthetic to it, almost. This also came out around the same time as Predator, as, you know, RoboCop, and when all these things were coming out. I love the graphics at the beginning of this movie. Like, you know, it's like that blue 80s. It almost looks like the Sega Genesis logo popping on the screen.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's pretty fucking cool. All right, Cody, sir. Since I've already teed this up for you, how do you feel? And you can obviously go into how it ties into how you feel about this movie, about the action genre and just anything like that. Because I know you're not so much like that.
Yeah, so
you're not so much into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when it comes to action, I'm kind of picky when it comes to it. Like, I don't like a lot of like military films that are just like over the top action, and I don't like a lot of films like this, like the buddy cop type films that are over the top action. Like when it comes to action films, it's more like if it's a horror movie with like a lot of action in it, or so like comic book movies. You know, obviously you could consider those action movies. I enjoy most of those, but when it comes to this style of movie, I'm not really into it. Which I think I talked about on our Commando episode. Which
that movie was an outlier for you, though, because you loved it, but you really liked it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up here. So going into this movie, I was kind of going into it with the same thought I was going into Commando with. Like, this is going to be a corny 80s action movie that I'm not really going to like, because it's going to just be so cheesy, because it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It tries to take itself too seriously at times, and it deals with like actual serious subject matter, but it's just handled in such a corny ass way that it's not. I didn't enjoy watching it, and it almost came off as comedic at times due to the overabundance of the sexy saxophone that was going the entire film. You know,
yeah, that's Danny Glover's theme in this movie.
Yeah, well, even like
so when he's on screen. Well,
did Eric Clapton make the music for this?
Eric Clapton did the guitar work. He's the one. He did Mel Gibson's theme.
He must have brought in
together. Both themes play together when they're in the scene together, or it's kind of like. Go ahead. Sorry.
He must have brought in George Michaels to do the saxophone then.
No, it's not George Michaels. It's hold on. I can tell you who it is real quick.
Michael Kamen. I recognize that name.
Kamen did the work on Highlander as well.
But like, you know,
but
like
the saxophone. Oh wait, never mind. Michael Kamen did the overall score. The guy who did the saxophone was Dan Sanborn. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Dan, the man with the plan.
He's still alive though, so that's good.
So
he's just a saxophone player. It does come across as kind of like porn music at times.
Well, yeah, and like so.
He's like, damn, I was 5 days from retirement, and now I'm horny.
Well, for me, like, okay, so just getting back to like my overall like opinion about the movie itself, because of things like that, it dragged it down a lot for me. On top of just like we're heading into a situation here that should be handled completely differently, but the situation is just going to devolve into a gunfight, and there's going to be a few explosions going off. But I will say, the difference here is between this and Commando. Like, going into Commando, like I said, I thought the same thing. You know, this is going to be an over-the-top action movie from the 80s, and I'm not going to dig it. But Commando I ended up enjoying because it is so tongue-in-cheek, and it doesn't try to take itself too seriously. We talked about that on the episode, but it knows exactly what it's trying to do, and it knows that it's making fun of this genre of movie, whereas Lethal Weapon comes off as being a little too... It feels a little all over the place. I will say the second half of the movie I enjoyed a lot better than the first half, because like the scene where Mel Gibson goes to meet the drug dealers, it really felt like a crappy like TV episode of like Baywatch or something. I mean, it's just
Miami Vice.
Yeah, there you go, Miami Vice. It's just like what the fuck? Like, I cannot believe this is a feature film. And I know we are 30-something years removed from this movie, but I was really, like, just down on it for the first half. And then once we got past the scenes where it's all like, you wanna kill yourself, brother, and all that stuff, it's just like...
Do it!
Do it!
He's like, kill yourself. Dude, Danny Glover's a modern-day internet troll.
But like once we got past that and they became more like, oh, we're actual like partners, I enjoyed it a little bit better. It just I don't know, I didn't like the whole like angle, like Mel Gibson being this wacko,
It's true. I think it's great because Mel Gibson really is a fucking whack job.
He's crazy. From my angle of the movie, as I've watched it and got older, because before I just enjoyed it as a movie, but I kind of analyzed it a little bit more. I think that, I like those scenes when, he's staring at the gun and he's looking like he's about to kill himself while watching Looney Tunes. And it's his background noise. And he just,
he's just like me. He's just like me for real.
He's just like me. But no, I think that there is, with this movie, why it's so popular and it became a franchise that a lot of people have loved, is because, like, this first movie especially, it's extremely relatable. Because Danny Glover's character is dealing with old age. He just turns 50. And he's just sitting there like, I'm too old for this shit. It's just one of those things relatable. And Mel Gibson's character is dealing with the guilt of his wife dying, which they kind of expand upon more in part 2.
I don't remember. Remind me, when he was in the scene where he was like crying with the picture frame and like slapping it on his face like a wet noodle.
No, he didn't do that. He put it up to his face. He slapped himself.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember him slapping himself with the picture frame. What the fuck?
Did they like show the picture in the frame? Because if not,
it's a picture of her and it's a picture of them on their wedding day.
Okay, I was gonna say if not, I'd like to imagine that it's actually a drawing of Mr. Peanut.
I'm sure somebody could change that.
He's like,
but
Mr. Peanut, I miss you.
But it's just it's funny as I've gotten older and I understand depression more. Not to be like a Debbie Downer on the episode.
That, a little Debbie Downer.
Oh, I am very much so. But a lot of people go through that during the holiday season too. Like, everybody's like, oh, Christmas is so great, stuff like that. There's a lot of people that go home who are just fucking, it's like, really depressed and miserable. Either because they have lost a loved one, or maybe they lost their employment, or just are going through some kind of general depression. You don't have to have a reason. It just kind of hits. But I think, in my opinion, I think that separates this from just the general, action movie. Like, it does have the levity of, okay, this guy's going through something. Both guys are going through something.
Yeah.
And eventually they find some kind of common footing, and their characters kind of fulfill each other, like,
They save each other's asses a couple times, They fucking get respect.
You shave my ass, I shave your ass.
You suck my cock, I'll suck your cock, buddy.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
It's like he's a loose cannon. He'll suck your cock. God damn, I was 2 days from retirement. I just got my cock sucked.
So real quick, Cody, you would say the first half of the movie you weren't a fan of, but you liked it more in the second half. So you're not completely negative.
I have a question about that, though,
I think
Cody.
overall is like, I think the movie is
Kind of a
fine. It's fine. You know,
Okay.
It's not necessarily something I just absolutely hate. It's not something that's terrible. Like I said when we were kind of texting about it the other day, it's definitely not a Clerks situation for me. But
okay, well, the text message you sent, I thought you were going to compare it to Clerks and how you hated it.
No,
I was teeing
like
it up for that.
no,
I hate Clerks and I hate this fucking movie too. Well, why do you like the second half more than? I feel like the first half has more like drama stuff, and the second half is kind of just like mostly silly.
Okay, so I think it's actually the opposite. I think the first half is a little silly because it is just
it's melodramatic a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and again, you know, you get the scene in the first half where he's like in the house contemplating suicide, and the sexy saxophone is playing in the background.
Well,
and
that doesn't happen in that scene. You're conflating the two. I'm gonna let's go ahead and be accurate.
There is some soundtrack. Something from the soundtrack is like blaring during that scene though, and it's just like,
well, no, they have a heavier music. There's got no guitar or saxophone in it. It's just this,
and I don't
it's
think
very
it
80s though. Even if it did have a saxophone, that'd be
see, that's
80s.
the thing. Like in my mind, I relate that to just like campiness, and it comes off as campy to me, and it's not intentional campiness, so it doesn't make it a good thing. And you know,
that's the thing. Campy wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, the reason why it's considered campy is because it's aping off like things like this.
Right. Okay. So, and again, we're 30 years removed from this, and as someone who didn't really watch, I don't really watch action movies from the 80s. You know, it's a different situation for me. But also in the first half of the film, you know, you're getting like when they first get paired up, it is just they are at each other's throats like immediately, and it's too erratic, I think. So,
well, I think Mel Gibson's character is supposed to be erratic in this movie.
Well, it's not even it's the scenes themselves. It's like, okay, he jumps off the building. He sees that they've inflated the landing pad down below, which makes sense. He jumps off, you know, to save the guy's life or whatever. But then, you know, then they run into the store, and it's like, if you want to kill yourself, just do it. Do it. And it's just like, this is corny as hell to me. And whenever they later become more like, okay, we're working in tandem, and it becomes more of like, almost like an action drama, I end up liking it a little bit more. But I think that the drama elements in the first half are, like Owen said, they're melodramatic, and it just doesn't play well.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I'd have to disagree on that part. The whole movie works for me in general. I think this movie has the most seriousness in the beginning of it than the other four do. I mean, there's some serious moments, but it does lean more into like fun action with a little drama sprinkled in going forward. Like it's like the part two, a lot of people consider the best one. I kind of love all four of them almost equally. I think 1 and 2 are probably the better ones. Yeah. But I feel as I get older, I feel more with the Mel Gibson stuff in this movie, because those two scenes where, you know, he's about to pull the trigger or whatever, and you just see it, like he's fucking just like that one scene where he's crying in his room, and the whole thing, like we'll go back to when we get into it, the Christmas tree part. There's a scene that's cut from this. It's in the director's cut where he picks up a hooker and he's gonna take her back to her place, and she goes, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he goes, "I just want you to come home and watch TV with me." And they go back to his trailer, and he watches Three Stooges. And that's what he does that night. He pays her for the services because he's so depressed and lonely. And Mel Gibson is a huge Three Stooges fan in real life, so that's why that was sprinkled in, I'm pretty sure.
That's what inspired Mad Max.
Wait, what? Say that again.
I said that's what inspired Mad Max.
Wait, I don't. What scene are you guys talking about? I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying in general. I said this. Mel Gibson's a huge Three Stooges fan, and that scene where he's selling the Christmas trees and he does that little woo 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 woo, and then he pokes him in the eyes and shit.
Yeah.
And then he brought that in from the Three Stooges. I don't think that was in the script. And there's a scene that was cut from the movie where he picks up a hooker and she asks, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He goes, "I just want you to come home and watch TV with me," because he's so depressed and lonely. And so they go back to his place and they watch Three Stooges.
Oh,
so
wait, that's a cut scene?
Yeah, it's a cut scene. There's a director's cut of this movie. It's probably like 7 minutes longer, and it kind of throws it off for me because I'm so used to just the regular cut, and it's not added. It doesn't add anything to it, but it kind of adds the perspective of the Three Stooges part. If no one knows who the Three Stooges is, and you watch the scene with the Christmas trees, you're like, "What is he doing? Why do you poke him in the eyes?" I mean, he literally does the Three Stooges thing. He strokes his face a couple times, like he's slapping his face, and then he slaps one, pokes one in the eye, and pulls the gun on the other.
Strokes his cock.
Says, "I'm a real fucking cop, and that's a real fucking badge."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and Cody was just making a joke. It's like Three Stooges inspired Mad Max.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for going through that for me.
You're welcome. I figured you kind of drifted off. I'm like, let me go ahead and
thank you. Yeah, I was having a fucking ADHD moment.
Well, I'll go ahead and just jump in the plot. I do feel like there's generally for this plot is a very paint by numbers. I think that the script, the dialogue. I mean, Cody's went over and said how he thinks some of it's corny. I think it adds more to it because I understand it more. I probably had a similar feeling this movie as Cody when I first watched it the first couple times.
Let me add something to that though, because you're saying that a lot of, like, for you understand Mel Gibson's character. I can't remember the character's name.
Martin Riggs.
Okay, so Martin Riggs. You understand Riggs is like feeling and perspective, which I think in a way, we all kind of understand that feeling that way in life, but it's 30 years again, this is coming from someone who never watched this movie until a week ago in 2022. We've had over 30 years of films that have handled this kind of thing and displayed this sort of thing way like leagues better. So for me, just going back, it's almost like, okay, I understand like this is like an earlier film that may have dealt with something like this, but it just, again, that just the way it comes off as just like a typical 80s movie just is what makes it corny to me.
Yeah, I think ultimately with this movie, and here's the thing, my girlfriend Savannah does not like action movies. She does not like 80s movies in general, and she liked all 4 Lethal Weapons. So it is a kind of like, Cody, you're on a lonely island thing. Because I mean, if everybody I'm not saying it like, I'm sure there's people out there that hate this movie, and there's people out there that want to be like woke and hate Mel Gibson, so they don't want to watch this movie. I watched the movie for the characters and the stuff like that, and I have a nostalgia for these movies. But I feel like if you don't like 80s movies, you might not like this movie.
You definitely won't like this movie.
Yeah, if you don't like 80 movies, you won't like this movie. Because that's coming from someone who doesn't like 80s action movies, so.
And that's the thing, you didn't grow up, I mean, I imagine you didn't. You didn't grow up in a house where they watched a lot of 80s movies.
I mean, I watched 80s movies. It wasn't a ton, but it was more, like, really, it was like just more like comedies and dramas from the 80s. It wasn't really a lot of action stuff. Like, the action movies I grew up watching was stuff from the 90s. But even then, I wasn't really a fan of a lot of it either.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not being like critical. It's fascinating to me because I understand because Commando doesn't take itself seriously. And Owen, have you watched Commando yet? I rented it again.
You win.
Well, I mean, we did an episode like 6 months ago. I feel like.
Yeah.
You were like, you were like, watch it. I said I could rent it again for you. Just watch it. You're like, no, I don't want you to spend money. I'm like, dude, it's $4 fucking. Shut up. That's gonna be the thing. Okay, I'm gonna rent it again tonight. You got to watch it in your movie before next week, and I want to hear what you think about Commando. It's literally an hour and 22 minutes long.
Commando.
Cody likes the movie, and it's just Arnold fucking killing people. He kills the island. of people, of soldiers, and it's incredible. And they don't take itself seriously.
What about
and the whole time he's just screaming, "Da!"
What about Commando Elite from Small Soldiers? What about that? Are they
well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they got the name is from the Commando movie. But so we'll go ahead and jump into the plot. Like I said, it's kind of a paint by numbers bit. It starts out with a girl who's half naked. She's tripping on some cocaine. She stands out on the ledge and she jumps to her death. And then they introduce Danny Glover's character. And I messed up the intro of this episode because I was going to tell Cody something. They introduced Danny Glover's character, and you find out he's gotten a call from a old war buddy that he's missed, and he goes, I guess I'll give him a call back. He leaves. He investigates his suicide. You find out that this is the daughter of the guy who was his old war buddy, so it kind of sets up like what's going on here. Then they show Mel Gibson going through like his daily routine, his struggles and stuff like that. There is a deleted scene where he goes to a school where they're having a school shooter. And I didn't watch the whole scene, but the scene ends. I guess they're trying to negotiate. The scene ends with him standing up in the parking lot by himself, shooting at the shooter like in a window in the school, and ends up getting him. And it's supposed to like showcase like he doesn't fear death in any way, because he's trying to get killed at this point because he feels so. Because what they establish later on is, he was late to a dinner he was supposed to go to his wife. So when she left, she got into the car accident and got killed. And he feels that he's responsible because if he was there on time or if the job wasn't in the way, she'd still be alive. So now all he has left is the job. That's why he's consumed with it, but he's also like living on the edge. And in part 2, you kind of like they establish more what actually happens, which is pretty cool. But we'll get to that at a later date. But the Mel Gibson, they show him, he's trying to he buys drugs, but it's kind of a cops thing. But it's like Cody says, I think the scene works great, and Cody doesn't. He thinks it's like some crappy Miami Vice thing. I'm like, Cody, you never even watched Miami Vice, so shut up.
You don't know that.
Have you ever watched Miami Vice?
I love Miami Vice.
I'm talking about the 1980s thing, not the 2006 series.
Yes, every bit of it.
Okay.
No.
I am shocked.
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay, that's what I figured. Cody's like, I just don't want to prove him right. But the whole movie just goes through like scenarios where, Riggs is like that scene that Cody thinks. I mean, the scene we've talked about where he's sitting in a trailer and the background noise is Looney Tunes Christmas special, and he's looking at a picture of his wife. And he's about to try to blow his brains out, which is pretty
He's like, fuck, man. If I have to hear "What's up, Doc" one more time.
He's like, fuck it. But there is a part like, I don't think suicide was dealt with a lot in movies at this point. Yeah. It wasn't something like this. Is like, how do you, Shane Black, when he wrote this movie, from what I, have heard in these retrospectives, was that this movie was way darker than this movie turned out to be. And then Joel Silver, the producer, came along, worked with the script. It's like, okay, let's make this kind of an action movie and let's tone down the darkness of it because people are not going to want to come see this. And so there are elements left of, like the suicide, getting old, that kind of thing that kind of feels real, but there's some levity to it, so you're not completely like drowning in it in this movie.
Yeah,
and then,
people,
I think
people in the '80s are so hopped up on cocaine that they couldn't go to the theater and watch a serious dark movie.
Well, Cody, that wasn't the type of movie that was going to make money, though. So that's a thing that I think people in retrospect like, I wish they did this, I wish they did that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, of course. I mean, like they do now. Like a lot of movie studios, they make what they think's going to make the most money. That's why you get garbage like Morbius that comes around where the studio's hacked it. Where the studio has hacked it to pieces. The studio's hacked
Cody's
it to
over
pieces.
here turning heel on me completely.
So the truth comes out. Huh? You got a morb hater.
Cock-sucking motherfucker.
It's fucking
no, but you know what I
Morbin
mean?
time.
Like Morbius, like we've said before, Morbius felt like a film that was probably supposed to be 30 minutes longer, and the studio's like, you know what, make it shorter. Audiences won't want to go see it because it's too long or something. You know.
Yeah, that's a very Sony thing with those movies.
You know,
it just ruined it.
I didn't want to go see Morbius anyway.
Well, I think me and Cody went to go see it because we were like,
Spider-Man
fuck
fans.
the establishment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we also were like, fuck the establishment. Like, you know, me and him were very much rooting for Sony to succeed with their comic book movies because Marvel fans are very, what's the word? Obnoxious.
Yeah, annoying, stupid, dumb.
So that was our thing there.
The funniest thing is a lot of people think it is a Marvel movie, and they're like, "Dude, this is one of the greatest Marvel movies."
Especially because of the post credit stuff. But are you talking about Morbius still?
Yeah.
Owen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's the post credit stuff doesn't really help. But yeah, I think for me and Lance, I think we've discussed this plenty in our lives, but we're like huge Spider-Man fans anyway. So and there's a lot of like the Marvel MCU fans are like, well, we don't want anything that's not done by Disney. And then we're just like, fuck, it's another Spider-Man movie. Technically,
now Marvel movies are coming out that are absolute fucking stinkers, like fucking Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, y'all keep talking. I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I will say that like Marvel has done some stuff on the Disney Plus side that's really good. Like I don't know if either one of you had ever watched Werewolf by Night yet, but I love Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
And I like Multiverse of Madness, but Multiverse of Madness felt like an Evil Dead movie. Yeah. So it didn't really feel like the typical Marvel thing. But like, a lot of like Marvel's theatrical stuff that's, just, all right, let's do the same thing we've been doing with these movies. It's starting to get a little stale.
Yeah.
To the point where like, I don't really care to really go to the theater to see a Marvel movie. Like looking at the slate of them that come out next year, the only one I really want to go to the theater to see is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But,
And even then, from what we saw of them, and like, I don't know if you've watched Love and Thunder yet.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, even from what we see there, they're not really like that. I don't know.
Well,
if James Gunn's coming back to it, it might be good. But
yeah, James Gunn is coming back to it. So
Okay.
like that was the whole thing. He left, or he got fired by Disney because of the crap that went down about an old tweet or whatever. And he went in to make Suicide Squad, and while he was making that, Disney basically went back to him and like asked him to come back. And at the time, but pretty much. And he was just like, I'll come back, but I've got to finish Suicide Squad first. And he did. He came back to do Guardians of the Galaxy. I think this month the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special comes out on Disney Plus, and he directed that as well. And then after that, I think he's pretty much done with Marvel because he was just made like co-head of DC films and stuff. So, I think after Guardians 3, he's pretty much done with Disney and Marvel.
Yeah, I think we honestly, in like hindsight, I think we were kind of harsh on the James Gunn Suicide Squad. I mean, I don't blame it.
You two may have been. I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember that episode being like all about it, and I don't think you two had like things that you didn't like about the film.
I think I was just fatigued with superhero movies at the time, and I don't know. I was like, "Fuck, man, tired of these fucking superhero movies."
And I know like Lance has said before, he kind of. I know Lance doesn't really look forward to a DC run by James Gunn.
Yeah.
Because it's just James. I don't know if it's going to be James Gunn's flavor and everything though, but I know like Henry Cavill has already kind of talked about how he's coming back to Superman and how he's looking forward to like playing Superman in a film where he is a brighter, happier person as opposed to like Zack Snyder's version where he was like just kind of like doom and gloom all the time.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think there's a time and a place for both kinds, but I think you need to vary up your tones in your superhero movies and shit,
Yeah, and I think maybe like starting Superman off with being like kind of like a slightly darker take on Superman probably wasn't the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Like maybe it should have been like Man of Steel was that brighter type movie, and then you get Batman versus Superman where you see the fallout of like, oh, this city's destroyed and people died because Superman and Zod destroyed half the city. And now Superman is entering a dark place because how does he deal with the people of the world, basically like having different opinions on whether or not he's a hero or someone that needs to be dealt with,
Yeah.
But it was just mishandled a little bit.
It's absolutely mishandled. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think I was so harsh on Suicide Squad because I don't know. It felt like another Disney superhero movie. I know it wasn't Disney, but it was James Gunn, and I don't know what was the first Marvel movie that was like, hey, let's be funny a little bit. I know it wasn't. Was it Thor 2? No, not Thor 2.
No. Yeah, it definitely was
the other
Thor
Thor,
2.
the Thor after that. I mean,
I don't think it was Ragnarok either because Guardians 1 came before Ragnarok.
it was Guardians. It was probably
Guardians was probably the first one that was really all in on like the comedy aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, you had stuff like Iron Man and Iron Man 2 that had a little bit of humor and all that kind of stuff interjected in it. But yeah, Guardians was more the first one that kind of leaned into the comedy. But it's to be honest, like Guardians of the Galaxy, going in and seeing that movie, like I at that point I didn't really care a whole lot about the Marvel movies. Like I'd watched them, but I wasn't like really like super into them or anything because I'm not really an Iron Man fan or a Thor fan or a Captain America fan. and then going into Guardians and like not even seeing or knowing what Guardians of the Galaxy even was, and like leaving that movie and being like, oh, this is.
You could just hear. I'm sorry, I'm listening, but I just hear Laird shitting. He's like, yeah. So when we were watching.
But yeah, like leaving Guardians of the Galaxy, like I absolutely adored that film. So that's what really like got me paying attention more to the MCU in general. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of what got me too. Is I watched I didn't watch any of the Marvel movies because I had no interest really in superheroes or anything. But I watched Guardians too, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, I can see why people go watch this.
So like for me, like going into the Suicide Squad with James Gunn directing it, I was all about it because like I love James Gunn's Guardians movies, and that's basically going in with that mindset of like I just want Suicide Squad. But basically, it's just like James Gunn's Guardians, but a little bit more brutal and slightly darker or whatever. Because people are actually being straight up murdered in that.
Yeah,
film.
the gore was kind of cool.
So
oh my God.
I got exactly what I wanted from it.
Somebody's back now. What's funny is
It sounds like someone's back blew out.
Yeah, someone had fucking shit their britches.
You guys heard me flush. I had my headphone in the whole time as I was crapping, and I put my hand over it like a seashell, so you guys could hear it squirting out my butt cheeks.
Oh yeah, we did. No,
yeah, we heard it. It's just I think we just kept talking through it.
Yeah,
we got to power through this, guys.
I couldn't take it after a certain point. I just kept hearing.
I did hear like the whole conversation. The whole conversation, real quick, I did hear it. But the thing I had a problem with James Gunn with his Suicide Squad movies is I don't think James Gunn, specifically with superhero movies, I feel like he's very one note. The Suicide Squad felt just like his Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which loud explosions. Let's put some retro music in so everybody thinks this movie is like really hip and cool. And let's put a lot of fucking humor in this shit. And that's fine. It works to an extent. But I don't want the entire DCEU to feel this way.
Right.
And that's the problem I have with him taking over, because Kevin Feige wasn't a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige is a producer who has worked on all the Sony and Fox X-Men Spider-Man movies as executive producer. He was the comic book guy.
Yeah.
He was the nerd that had all the info that they would kind of consult. And like Hugh Jackman, they didn't want Hugh Jackman reading any comic books, like to get to know the Wolverine character, because I guess they want him to do something different. Well, Kevin Feige is the one that gave Jackman all the comic books to get ready for the role as Wolverine in the first X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But Kevin Feige took over as the producer and CEO of Marvel, and then Marvel was bought by Disney. But he is the guy. You know, he's not a filmmaker, but he tells the filmmakers this is where the story needs to go. Where the story, and like I said, I'm not so much into Marvel movies right now. Me and Savannah are kind of burnt out after watching Endgame again. Like, geez, it feels like almost a year ago now. Nah, probably about 6 months. It just feels like a really long time. But he tells them where to go, and they put their own little twist on it. My fear with James Gunn is he's a director. I don't think he's a big picture guy.
Now,
and that's what you need to be as a CEO of that.
He has done production work. Like he produced Sean Gunn's film Brightburn, which
I understand that part. I'm talking about when I say big picture. I'm like, this is where the story needs to be in 10 years for us to make these movies.
Well, I will say this. You know, again, they made him co-head of DC Films or whatever with Peter Safran or whatever. I'm glad that James Gunn is up there with Peter Safran if they're gonna insist on putting that dickwad in charge, because he's the same guy that was basically like, you know, after like millions of people signed a petition to have Amber Heard removed from Aquaman 2, he's like, well, we're not going to listen to the fans, you know, like screw that guy. So at least I trust James Gunn to hopefully keep him in check. Because I think Peter Safran is like the type of just corporate nutsack that is going to go up there and just try and butcher everything that's being made because he thinks he knows how to make more money. Whereas at least James Gunn is a creative and can at least try and help control some of the things to make them better. And I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but what I've heard about Black Adam is it's pretty mediocre. You know,
well, Black Adam is like the DC version of Venom.
Well,
like, no, I'm being honest with here's the thing. The reason why the movie gets praised is because everybody likes The Rock. And who wouldn't? He's a wonderful, handsome man. And I think The Rock is a very entertaining actor.
But he plays the same character in every movie, though.
He does. But it's also because he can't grow hair anymore.
Yeah.
But They described this movie as a late 90s, early 2000s action comic book movie that you would expect.
Yeah,
that's the exact same thing they said about the first Venom movie, but they were comparing that to Black Cat because a lot of those review people were biased towards Marvel and wanted the Venom movie to fail and didn't want it to succeed because they wanted Spider-Man to be owned by Marvel and not Sony.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing they were saying.
I will say, a lot of the reason I decided not to go to the theater and see it was, for one, my interest waned the closer and closer we got to release date for it, because, you know, just constant marketing for this film. And it's just like, feels like it's at a point where it feels like it's just being shoved down your throat. And it's like, okay, we fucking get it. The Rock is Black Adam. The hierarchy of power is about to change. Well, whatever, you know, like
I think they were trying to use this movie to gain the public trust back because, you know, they lost a lot of it. I know you love the Suicide Squad so much, but obviously that was bad business on Warner Brothers' part. I don't know why I fucking blanked on that.
Well, let's not forget that
we're going to put this movie same day release on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And that movie I don't think that movie cracked $200 million.
And I'll check real quick, but you know, because my interest waned on Black Adam, you know, HBO Max is still doing the whole, our movies are being put on HBO Max 45 days after they release in theaters. So, like, we're already pretty much halfway there at this point. So, like, what's another couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or so, and then watching it when it's on streaming service. And
here's the thing, me and Cody have discussed this. I don't know if I've already discussed this with Owen, and then we'll get back to the Lethal Weapon. Which is kind of funny because we went to this because Lethal Weapon was a Warner Brothers movie. And hey, we're talking about Warner Brothers. I feel like, and I'm like the prime example of this, since getting out of the routine and going to the movie theater to watch a movie, I don't want to go see movies anymore. I mean, I'm part of the reason. I know I'm probably the reason why movie theaters are going out of business, people like me now. But it's just so more convenient just to watch it from home.
Yeah.
And these companies, I mean, Disney, all them, if you charge money for your brand new movie and put it on your streaming service, you're cutting out the middleman, which is the movie theater. You can watch it from the comfort of your home. We get all the money we would get in the first place.
You don't have any people sneezing on you or yelling.
Yeah, it's the comfort of it. It's like, I remember telling Cody, like I said, hell, this was over a year ago. The first movie I went back to the movie theater, and I wanted to go see it in theaters, Godzilla vs. Kong. And the one theater I like going to, The Great Escape, because they have like it's like that fancy theater in Hendersonville, Cody. It's got the leather seats that roll back, and you're not super close to the people next to you and all that.
Yeah,
it's like that. Well, they weren't open yet, and this was March of 2021. So I go to the shitty mall theater, which I hadn't been in since I dated the girl who used to be the manager then. And I go in there, and it's not so bad. People are kind of like, okay, we're spreading out. 2 people are sitting here. There's a 2-seat gap, and then more people sitting because they tell you to spread out. Well, all of a sudden I start feeling my seat just getting kicked or hit or something. It's like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I look down there, and there's this fucking, 6-year-old kid banging on the fucking row of chairs I'm sitting on.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm about to fucking say something. And then my dad goes, I gotta go pee. Because, I always do that before the movie starts anyway, too. So he gets up and comes back, and I gotta go piss. I come back, the literal fucking row I'm sitting in is just full of fucking people, and we're still in the middle of COVID, by the way. So I'm just kind of like, my dad's like, they just kind of sat down right next to us. I'm like, fuck, whatever. And then people just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and then I think the next month Mortal Kombat came out. I saw it in theaters one time, but, after the Venom movie came out, I don't think I've been to the movie theater, but maybe one time.
Yeah, so we definitely hadn't gone to the theater this year as much as we used to go to before COVID hit. It's funny you bring up that shitty mall theater, because that's actually the last theater we went to before COVID hit.
Never been to that theater.
February
hey,
of 20...
Cody, do they have that shitty ass Carmike thing down in it's not maybe it's Henderson,
Madison. No, yeah,
Madison.
They shut it down.
Okay, that's probably the equivalent to that mall theater.
Yeah, that one was awful.
Shit, and they were both Carmikes, but Carmike was bought out by I think
AMC, and then
I think AMC,
yeah. But yeah, we went and saw Toy Story 4 at that theater like a month before COVID hit. So, I specifically remember, we were like, well, we go to the movies a lot. Let's buy the annual popcorn bucket. And that was literally the only time it got used that year. So,
I mean, it sounds like a good deal if you want to go to it, but. I think it's also with age, you get older, you're like, I really don't want to sit next to people for 3 hours watching a movie and going through that experience,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's also part of, we don't ever really go see theaters or see movies, on opening weekend. We usually wait a week or two after it releases because, obviously the theaters aren't going to be as full. But even then, we don't really go see a movie in theaters unless we're just, really wanting to see it at that time. So it's just we go with my in-laws quite a bit because they like going to the theater. But I didn't care to go see Black Adam. They went and saw Black Adam. I didn't care to go see Black Adam in theater. I don't really care to go see Black Panther in theaters. I thought there was a couple of horror movies that came out recently that I thought would be cool to see in theater, like Barbarian, and then all of a sudden, I a week ago, it gets put on HBO Max. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just watch it on there. And then Smile is a Paramount film. Well, I know it's going to be added to Paramount Plus at some point, so I'll just wait. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is another one this year. I actually really wanted to see Sonic 2, but then they're like, oh, we're going to put it on Paramount Plus, however many days after release. So I was like, okay, well, that's no time at all. So I'll just wait. When they make the streaming stuff so convenient to wait for, yeah, you're paying a monthly subscription, but hell, even if you just paid a month just to watch a movie, paying that $7 or $8 for that 1 month is still a better deal than driving to the theater and then paying $11 or $12 for a ticket.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's I hate to give them credit, but WWE was so ahead of its time. they looked at the Netflix model of streaming, and they've been wanting to do it since 2011, but it took them 3 years to get it off the ground. But they got the WWE Network up, and it's like you pay $9 a month, and you get the fucking pay-per-views that you were spending $50 to go see.
Yeah.
Like, and you can watch it from your home, but I would never pay for it. Me, Alex, and Jacob would meet up at the local Hooters because they always played sporting events, and all you gotta do is go in there and get a good table, get there early enough that you buy food, and you can just sit there for fucking 4 hours and watch the event. And that's what we did. Like, the pay-per-views that we wanted to go see, specifically WrestleManias, because WrestleMania was like they would charge almost $80 for WrestleMania if you wanted to buy it home. Now I pay $5 a month for WWE Network on Peacock. I don't even use the motherfucker, but I have I'm not sharing my password. But there's other people that use it that I'm close to, and if I wanted to watch wrestling, I could watch it. But it's just the convenience from doing it from your house for just a low price every month. And I don't even pay for. Well, I'm not going to sit there and go because I'm not going to get shut down on that account. But my HBO Max is of the free variety. So if I can just watch a movie from there, hell, I'm just going to watch a movie from fucking there. I think the last movie I saw in the theaters was probably The Batman. I feel like. Because I feel like the Batman came out way after Venom 2 and after Halloween Kills. So I think The Batman is literally the last movie I saw in theaters, and that was with Savannah, Owen, and his wonderful girlfriend Lauren.
I can't remember the last one. I think the last one I went and saw was either. I guess it was probably Doctor Strange.
Oh, I did see Doctor Strange though. I did see that.
Doctor Strange love.
Yeah, I think it was Doctor Strange. So,
I thought Doctor Strange was. I know Cody was talking about earlier how much he liked it. I think it's a good movie, but it's very mid for me. It's very chaotic. I'm not as I watched the Evil Dead movie and then I rewatched those Spider-Man movies. I'm not a fan of Sam Raimi's cinematography, which I've talked about, but I don't think I'm much of a fan of Sam Raimi
at all.
I think everybody has this I know it's just crazy. I think everybody has this reverence to him because they like those older movies and shit. But it's like that makes me fucking dizzy.
We never watched Evil Dead 2.
Or Evil Dead, the third one. I don't know what that
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. And Alex really likes those movies. He likes Sam Raimi, so he'll probably think I've got a shit opinion there too. But
yeah, we should probably go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh no! I was just saying, but it's one of those things we probably should finish those movies. It's so hard when we do this podcast. We're like, yeah, I want to do all 4 of these Lethal Weapon movies, and you want to do all 3 of the Evil Dead.
But then
Owen wants to do all 3 of Mad Max, but you get to the point you're like,
yeah, you don't.
I want to do something else.
Yeah.
I'm kind of burnt out.
Yeah, that's the thing is and it'd be different if we all we would have to drastically change the way we do this, where we're all let's just stick to a single franchise or a theme for the next few movies until we're done with them. But even then, I think it kind of keeps it a little bit more interesting for people listening too, because it just adds variety. But also
it makes us a little different because there are podcasts out there when Cody and you were going. I don't know if you still watch them as much. When they were ranking all the superhero movies, the Kind of Funny people.
Yeah,
they would release a new episode every week. But
yeah.
I think for us, it's okay, guys, look, just hang with us. We have the same 6 people that listen to us anyway.
Yeah, and they know what's up.
They know what's up, and we'll eventually get to these movies. I promise we're not going to stop doing this podcast. And Lord willing, if I change, employment in the next couple months, I'll have off on Saturdays, and our recording schedule will be much more freed up than, hey, guys, I got to do it after 5 p.m. because I got to work to 4,
Yeah.
Only on Sundays.
So it's just one of those things. It's it's going to be a little bit easy. And we'll have Sundays that, it's not like we're going to be pressured on, we got to do it right now this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you're talking about, sticking with, a chain of films or whatever and being oh, yeah, I want to do them all. I'm sticking with The Northman for my next one because, that's literally, that'll be the first time we finish, a theme for movies. Be the thing, the idea or whatever, the theme being Robert Eggers' films. So
I was gonna think. I'll tell you guys off air. I was thinking about something else. Just remind me about Robert. when we hang up this recording.
Okay, but yeah, like because we've done The Witch and The Lighthouse at this point, so like The Northman is the only other film he's done so far. So and that sets us up nicely for Nosferatu whenever it finally releases.
That's going to set us up nicely for Morbius, baby, because Morbius made more money than all three of those movies put together.
Morbius is actually considered a sequel to all Robert Eggers movies.
I feel like it is too. I'm glad somebody else is with me.
It's a different kind of horror.
Yeah, it's a different kind of horror.
Real quick before we get into Lethal Weapon, or go back to finishing up the plot, Cody, I rented the movie for Savannah to watch. Savannah's my lovely girlfriend, and I love you very much. And she thought The Witch was extremely boring.
Well, you know what? I don't give a damn.
Well, you know what? I don't give a
I was shocked because I thought she would really like the the seriousness of the tone of the movie and stuff like that, and she liked the serious moments, like the baby disappearing. It's like those moments were nice, but she said the rest of the movie was too it was really boring in between all of that. It was her, she fell asleep during a couple.
My
times.
girlfriend,
I mean,
I think.
Yeah, Stephanie really liked it too. I don't think nearly as much as me, but she enjoys watching it, and I think it's just a different type of horror movie, and it's something that I think a lot of people, it's really a newer subgenre. It's only been around for 10 years or so, in the mainstream really. So like it's not full of jump scares or anything like that. It does rely entirely on, or mostly on, just the tension that's being built up throughout the film. And one of these days I'm gonna get the courage to pick Hereditary, but because I really like that movie, but it is like probably one of the scariest freaking movies I've ever seen in my life.
Hereditary.
Isn't The Witch considered like an elevated horror movie or something like that?
Yeah, we talked about that in the episode.
What movie were we talking about originally?
Well, we were talking about Lethal Weapon. We'll get back to that in just a second. I just want to tell Cody, did you hear what John Carpenter said about elevated horror?
No.
He said it
somebody was interviewing him about it. It was like, what do you think about the new genre, like elevated horror, kind of comparing it to what he did with Halloween, because Halloween was so groundbreaking or whatever. Yeah. And John Carpenter goes, I don't know, what is that? Because the elevated horror, this person was literally trying to explain it to him. He goes, I don't know what that is.
I mean, he's
just
old.
John Carpenter just did not give two fucks.
He's old as fuck. He probably
Yeah, I was gonna say John Carpenter's 104 years old, so
he's
what during the 3 hours he's awake every day, he's just composing music. So
yeah, but he's also making a shit ton. He's making a shit ton of money.
It's like trying to explain to a fucking somebody born in 1934 what a computer is.
What did you say that is? See?
It's well, I don't know what that is. He doesn't even want to hear it.
Well, with this 25-minute excerpt in this episode, we'll get back to Lethal Weapon because I had to use the bathroom. I apologize, everybody. The movie it goes paint by numbers. After they establish the characters, there's a big drug ring that they're going to try to bust up, and they find themselves captured. And then this movie really highlights the action hero character that Mel Gibson's character kind of morphs into. He's crazy, but he's always running to places and shit like that, and he's very athletic, and he kicks a lot of ass and stuff like that. So in the movie, like I said, the good guys end up winning. It's not a lot to deep dive into this movie with the characters. Like I said, the part for me to deep dive into it is the Danny Glover's character feeling really old, and a lot of people dealing with that, and Mel Gibson's character feeling depressed around the holiday season because his wife was killed during Christmas, and people dealing with depression during that. And I understand this is in the context of a action movie, but I think for a movie of 1987 to have a scene with somebody sticking a gun in his mouth and creating that tension that he's going to do it, I think is really well done. It's kind of like when me and Cody, when we reviewed Psycho 2, there weren't a lot of movies that dealt with mental health at that point, or just the treatment of people who are mentally ill, like Norman Bates. And that movie did a really good job as a quote-unquote horror/slasher movie of kind of like showing you like these people are fucking with him because they can't stand of him being normal. And all he wants to be is normal, and he's struggling with his sanity. Yeah. So the Mel Gibson character, especially in this movie, like they have those few scenes where he deals with it, and then in the next 3 movies, it's more subdued. Like he brings up his wife, they talk about it, but he's not like suicidal anymore. But it's you can tell the pain is still there. And I think Mel Gibson's a very good actor. He did a lot of good shit. So, like this movie, like I said, they deal with a big drug bust. They get captured. They get tortured. Mel Gibson kicks some ass. Danny Glover kills a few people with a gun. And there's a lot of explosions. And there's a lot of fun in this movie. And there's a lot of lines that I still quote. Like, I was going to open today's episode with Cody. Going like, look at Cody. All dressed up and nobody to blow. Which is what Danny Glover says to that hooker at the beginning of the movie, which is hilarious. Good. So yeah, and it's a very simple movie, and it's funny because like anybody that I've introduced this movie to is really like they really enjoyed it, like they're surprised by it. Because Sarah, who's my kind of boss / coworker at work, doesn't like these type of movies, and she really liked it. Savannah, doesn't like these movies whatsoever. She hated Commando, was bored by it. She doesn't like Predator. She doesn't like any of these movies. And she actually liked this movie, which is shocking. So Cody is the Lonely Island.
Yeah. This is the tale of Sergeant Riggs. Pulled a gun, put it in his mouth.
That's actually pretty good. There's a funny part, if we ever get to it, like Lethal Weapon 3, the main song that they play in the credits was written by Eric Clapton and Sting, the musician Sting who played for the Police?
Yeah.
Okay. I keep, look, I'm an uncultured swine, so anytime anybody says the word Sting, I think of the wrestler.
I was gonna make a joke about Sting the wrestler, but no, I know who Sting is.
I know, yeah, but I instantly, no matter what my mind, they're like, you're talking about Sting, and I'm like, yeah, Steve Borden. They're like, no, who's that? I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid, okay? He's a wrestler, and he was awesome.
Was Sting
he was one half of the Blade Runners?
Yes, exactly. He gets it.
With Harrison Ford?
With Harrison Ford as the manager, that's correct. But what I was going to say was, there's a song they play, and the lyrics go, I'm not going to sing it until I get to my little spoof lyrics. But he goes, it's like, between you and me, if someone has to put their life on the line, it's probably me. It's like, but he goes, I had to say it, but it's probably me. So I'll change the lyrics. And when I'm around Savannah, I go, I had to say it, but it's probably P. And then I go, another one's like, I had to pay it, but it's probably a fee. I haven't worked out the rest of the song yet. So when we get to it, I'll have some time to work out. I'll change the shit, and she'll just look at me and she goes, shut up, I don't even know what you're singing. I'm like, you watched the movie, shut up. So, all right, well, we'll go in our general recommendations, I guess, now. We'll swing to Owen. I had to remember the rotation, excuse me. Owen, sir, would you recommend this movie?
I love Lethal Weapon, and I love movie theater discussion.
I feel like before we do this, I don't feel like we really got a lot out of Owen about what he exactly liked about this movie. Like, I know I did a lot of ranting about what I did and didn't like about it, and Lance, you said a lot about what you like about it, but I don't feel like we really heard a lot from Owen. So
okay, that's a good point. Sorry, I was on the floor.
Let me discuss this. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of shit I liked about the movie. I mean, it's kind of just an action movie, but it's like a comfy kind of action movie. I mean, the melodrama in the beginning didn't bother me. I liked Mel Gibson's character. I thought it worked really well. I liked that he was like a suicidal maniac, and that Danny Glover's character was like the family man. I thought they complemented each other really nice, and I think the theme of the movie of, you know, this guy finding like a place and a family worked well with its holiday setting. And I think that kind of can attribute to it being like, hey, this is a holiday movie, and it has a stronger case than you know, Die Hard does. But I liked that. Some of the action scenes are kind of silly. Like the fucking part at the end where he just starts fist fighting the guy. Like, I don't get why that goes on for so long. Because like it doesn't matter.
I think they had to put that in there.
Yeah,
you know?
it doesn't matter even if Mel Gibson's character doesn't beat his ass, he's still gonna get arrested. Like, what the fuck?
And I thought it was funny too because Danny Glover's like trying to like hold the other cops back. He's like, just let him.
He's like, it's him. And then at the end, he's like,
I'll take the heat.
He's like, let me get him. He's like, no. And they're just fucking. They have to be wet too. This the fucking the. They have to be completely wet and muddy.
Also, why do these 80s action movies always have to have like a scene toward the end of the film where they're in a boiler room?
Yeah, you're right. This is the torture scene.
I think that was it. Like, if Owen had watched Commando, he would know what we're referencing. But I'm gonna make him watch that movie this week. But yeah, that is a thing. You know, it's like, and even in like the mid '90s, Cody, you'll remember they had like the boiler room brawl between Undertaker and Mankind.
Yeah.
It must have been just like cheap.
Like a thing, like,
it must have been just like cheap.
Yeah, it probably is because it's a cheap set to make.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have a lot of color. It's probably easy to shoot like on a sound.
And it looks kind of unique. Well, I mean, it doesn't anymore.
All those scenes in the 80s and 90s with Freddy Krueger in the boiler room.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I wonder if that is because it might be cheaper to film in a set like that.
He's like, okay, bitch.
Because those Freddy Krueger movies probably didn't cost a ton to make, probably around $4 or $5 million, and they made a ton. Yeah. So it was probably easier, like shooting and something like that. I'm just curious, like, you know, we always think like, you know, from a story aspect, but it's probably just something like fucking simple as like, oh, it's cheaper just to do something like this.
Yeah, maybe
because all these movies are. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it could just be that like the general like atmosphere and effect that like a boiler room has, like, you know, with steam and all that kind of stuff pouring around, and you got tight hallways and stuff. Plus, it's not really a set that I don't think you really have to build because you could find a boiler room to like film in. Whereas a lot
you also
of
have
like,
to think about the movie equipment though. Because that stuff can get affected by like the moisture in a boiler room.
Yeah.
Like the dampness of it too.
That's something I thought of during the torture scene. I was like, why are there so many boiler room scenes in movies from this
yeah, that is a
time?
good point. We'll have to look that up for the next episode. But let's go back to Owen talking about what he did and didn't like about it real quick.
Yeah.
All right, where was I?
Well, you were just like, you know, why did they have that little fight scene at the end? It doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, that was kind of like
which
silly.
is true, but I think that, you know, most people are like sucked into the movie at that point. They just kind of accept it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things about this movie that I feel like the Fugitive movie, it shouldn't work, but it fucking does.
Tommy Lee Jones is like, it's okay. I'll bypass the fucking U.S. criminal justice system.
Yeah, and we'll unhook the thing. And the best part is, that's my favorite scene of The Fugitive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great scene.
I thought you didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, but it's like, okay, this movie's completely resolved at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It's just like, I always have like a slight issue with movies that try to make things tense when like there's no reason for it to be tense. Like it was literally a fight scene for the sake of a fight scene, and I mean that's fine. I thought it was funny, but I don't know.
No, it's true. Like when I rewatch the movie, I'm like,
yeah, it goes on for a little long too.
But
it's like
but at the same time, I'm just like, fuck it, I love
it. It kind of sneaks up on you too, because when it happened, I was like, how do we? Part of me is like, how do we get here?
Yeah,
like I don't understand.
Okay, so he jumps him in the fucking when he goes into the house and he sees the Christmas tree, right? He jumps him then,
and then he humps him. Oh no, they go in there because he's trying to kill his family, but they've already been evacuated, and then. When he goes into the cop car after they drive the cop car into the
and
thing,
then he holds.
Mel Gibson points a gun and is like, "Come on, you're a bad guy," you know.
Oh yeah, and then they're arresting him, and then wait, no, that's after that. They just kill him anyway, don't they? With the fucking gun, they just shoot him.
Well, he wants to kill him, but he lets him go. He's like, "Yeah, you're not worth it." And then, as he's getting cuffs put on him,
then he goes
pulls
for
the gun from the officer to aim to him. And the thing is, they did that in slow motion at the end because I'm sure that scene probably looked really fucking stupid in real time.
Yeah.
So they did it and add some dramatic music to like make that scene like pop.
Yeah, just take a couple frames out of the shot. Fucking.
Well, and as you know, it's a callback to a scene from the first part of the movie, or earlier in the movie when Danny Glover's about to be shot by somebody, and Mel Gibson pulls a gun and kills the guy.
And they start fucking him in the plastic wrap.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, that's true.
And he's like, oh. Wait, if he's so if he's in the plastic wrap and he goes under the water, what if the air was trapped in there with him? He would have been fucking dead anyway because he got shot like center mass.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I was just thinking about like, could you imagine if you fell in a tarp over a pool and you were sinking? Because you can't really swim in that scenario.
Yeah. Why would you? I was thinking when they did it, I was like, now they got like they were in a pool with a dead body. That's gross. Like,
No.
That's nasty.
It was just funny. It's just I have a fear of like drowning almost, and I can swim, so it's not one of those things I'm gonna sit there and be like I'm gonna drown, but it's just like the kind of fear of you are not in control and you're sinking and you can't breathe and you're eventually going to give in and let the air in your body and you're going to die. That's the thing. It's just like that and like claustrophobia. Yeah. Like being buried alive is kind of like fucking.
Yeah. I mean, him falling into the tarp was cool. Like that was a cool idea.
I think there's I like the humor in it where he goes, and when they come out of there, Mel Gibson's like, "Whoops," because he just shot the guy. And they were trying to get some clues of where he was getting the dope from, and they're like, "Have you killed anybody you haven't met yet, or something like that?" And he's like, "I haven't killed you. Well, don't do me no favors." So other than like those few things, were there any other things that popped to you that you really liked? You were like, "Okay, this is kind of stupid." Now that you think about it, or does anything probably change your opinion of how you feel about the movie?
Everything else is fine. I mean, I just liked it in that, like, like I said, I always have a guilty pleasure for, like, 80s and 90s movies. So the only thing I can remember is that he says that the bullet that he's trying to, like, save for himself, he says it's a hollow point, but it's not a hollow point. And, I mean, I know that's just autism. Like, that's just me being autistic, but, like, it like, bothers me a little bit.
Oh, I got you. I wouldn't have known because I don't know anything about bullets, but yeah.
So that's my last complaint.
Well, that's funny. I mean, I totally get that part because there's sometimes I'm like, well, actually, it's like, shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
Actually,
Yeah.
Well, actually, Darth Maul's lightsaber burns at a temperature of 72 Kelvin.
Actually, if Darth Maul was cut in half, his lower body would be soldered and he'd be okay.
Actually, he was okay. He found some spider legs and escaped.
Yeah, it's like, actually, later in the lore.
Yeah, no, that's totally me. Like, well, I'll be sitting there watching, like, before, they were kind of released on Blu-ray, I'd be watching, like, the original Star Wars trilogy. I'd be like, yeah, Dad, Boba Fett's actually a bigger character in the books.
Yeah, it's like...
it's like kind of that stupid shit. You're just like, what are you talking about?
Actually,
your dad just reaches over and slaps you. Your
like,
dad just slaps you in the mouth.
Well, it was funny. Like another thing, I'm the 10-year-old kid sitting in the movie theater watching Halloween H2O going, why haven't they mentioned her daughter in the last 3 movies?
Where's the continuity?
And it's like, they're ignoring those 3 movies, you dumbass, but they weren't explicit in their interviews to me when I was watching shit, so I didn't fucking know. So I'm just like, actually, she had a daughter, and she was supposed to die 20 years ago, so that doesn't make any sense. So,
that doesn't make a single sense.
Evil's been dying for a long time now.
Evil died. How was Halloween? I heard it was shittier than fucking.
Look, have you listened to our episode,
worse.
Owen?
No.
Owen, you should listen to our episode because you're not on it. But also, you have to watch that movie before next week. No, I just now remembered because Alex was asking me. He goes, "What do you think Owen's going to think about it?" Because I think Alex, with our podcast, has almost like. It's almost like a completion thing. Like, you want to know what everybody feels about something, a certain subject.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you're listening to a show and you're like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of this podcast, but I've only got 2 episodes left. I want to finish this. Kind of like that kind of completion.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What do you think Owen's going to think?" I'm like, Owen's not going to watch this fucking movie because he's not on the set.
It sounds well. The movie sounded like it was fucking terrible. Everybody who watched it, does film reviews and stuff, that usually my opinions sorta a lot of times go with them. All of them hated the fucking shit out of it. So
it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
You know, here's the thing. I thought about this because there's a podcast I listen to called The Halloweenies. And it's a lot of them are really stuck up movie critic type assholes. But I found them like over 4 years ago because at the time Gorley and Russ were doing the Friday the 13th movies. I'm like, I wonder if I was just new into listening to podcasts at the time. I wonder if somebody's doing the Halloween movies. And they were doing the Halloween movies and they were putting out like 3-hour episodes, which was perfect for my work. And I mean, they're just kind of like these like fucking assholes, stuff like that. And they go in there and they're like, when I listen to their movie, their episode that reviewed Halloween Ends, and they're like, I know people expect us to hate this movie, but we loved it. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
loved
and
it.
they liked it. They liked it because it was different and it has some stupid 80s romance in the fucking movie. That movie's a fucking buddy cop movie with a shitty 80s romance that you think, like...
Look, Owen,
Okay,
literally the characters fall in love upon first sight because the nerd turned, monster in the film drops his books or whatever he drops, and she walks up to him and hands them to her, and she's like, "Oh, you've got shit on your back. We should clean that up." And then they're in love. It's like, what the fuck?
And he's Michael's little sidekick.
You got shit on you.
Michael grabs.
Wait, what? You have shit on your back? What?
That is
Well,
what
he
she
fell down.
says.
He has dirt on his back. You got shit on your
You
back.
got shit on your back. That's so sexy.
It is. Here's the best thing though. There's a scene in this movie where they do a Pennywise thing, and Michael's in the sewer, and he goes, "You want to see what floats?" No, they don't do that. But this kid goes down the sewer after he's dragged down by Michael. Michael grabs him by the throat, and there's a moment where they lock eyes. It's kind of like the Lady and the Tramp, where they're eating the spaghetti and then they kiss. It's kind of like that, but it's really more stupid. And the kid is now evil, and him and Michael like tag team a kill together.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, the next scene shows this kid on a motorcycle, and then they slowly peel to who's sitting behind him, and it's the girl. It makes you think it's Michael sitting on the motorcycle. This movie, and if you listen to it, Alex is probably more positive than me and Owen were. Me and Cody. Sorry, I was just getting like the words all flubbed.
Dare you, sir?
How dare you?
Exactly. But like me and Cody were pretty harsh on the movie, and Alex. See, I'm doing it again. Alex was like more positive, but he still had the same complaints we did. If they had planned out that Halloween trilogy, and the first movie happened, that would have been a very interesting second movie. That would happen, and then you could lead into the third movie with Michael as the main killer again, because Michael's in the movie for maybe fucking 15 minutes, an hour and 45-minute movie.
Yeah, he kills like 2 or 3 people in the whole movie.
Yes, that's not how you finish a fucking trilogy, you dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Okay, as much of a cesspool as Rise of Skywalker is, they hit all the fucking fan notes, and they even put the fucking Emperor in the movie, and the movies can be at least fun. And then, Michael's in this movie, and you're just sitting there like, why is this a fucking romance movie?
And then when they asked John Carpenter about it, he said, I don't know what that is.
Well, no, John Carpenter's like, I'm getting paid, who cares? So,
and then he falls back to sleep.
I told Alex and Cody on that episode, and Cody's never watched it. But I legitimately hate Jason Goes to Hell, which is the 9th Friday the 13th.
I've watched Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, have you? Okay, I don't remember if you had or not.
That's the only Friday the 13th movies I haven't seen is maybe part 5 or 4, one of those two. But I've seen all of the other ones.
Well, 5 is the copycat killer, and it's not Jason.
Okay, then I think I have seen that one. It was probably part 4 then that I haven't seen.
Well, part 4 is probably the best one. You gotta watch that one. Part 6 is my favorite, but Part 4 is probably the best one, and it's fucking just awesome. And
But as a kid, I did watch Jason Goes to Hell a couple of times, and that's because I was like super into like Jason X and Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
So,
which is the new line, Home Cinemas, which is fine. But my thing is, in that movie, Jason blows up at the beginning of the movie. The doctor eats his heart because why the fuck not? So the doctor is now possessed by Jason's little demon spirit. And then when his body gets used up, because obviously Jason's soul can't just be in a normal human's body, this little dick worm comes out of their mouth and goes into another human, and he possesses that human.
Dick worm.
At the end of the movie, this dick worm goes up. Oh, by the way, after
I like
9
dick
movies,
worm. That's cool.
I know. Look, if you saw the scene, you would know what I'm talking about. Cody knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's why he's laughing. Am I wrong, Cody?
I think isn't that worm on the cover of like the DVD or whatever?
It is.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
Yes. Google that
Jason
shit real quick, and
to hell. Goes to heck.
It's like a picture of his mask with like fire behind it, and there's like this that worm that Lance is talking about is in the picture.
Dude, I see the little dick worm. It's gross.
Okay, see? Okay, here's the best part. Because they're influenced by the Evil Dead in this movie a lot, too. The body that Jason's possessed, he gets his head cut off, and the dick worm is now this like little gargoyle-looking thing that falls into the basement.
So Jason's a dick worm now?
Yes, and here's the best part. After 9 movies, you find out Jason has a sister, he has a niece, and he has a great niece. And there's also a Voorhees fucking house. Well, his dead sister's body's in the Voorhees house. The little fucking gargoyle dickworm thing goes up her vagina. And then Jason's reborn as he is. And the director had the gall to say in interviews was like, when we did this, we wanted to do something different. And we wanted, when people got Jason back at the end of the movie, everybody went, oh, this is so great. Okay, the movie quality is like a bad fucking Power Rangers episode. First and foremost, Jason looks fucking stupid, and they did that in Halloween Ends. They had no story for Michael. That's why he doesn't show up to 45 minutes in. And then at the end of the movie, there's a 15-minute sequence where Michael kills the copycat killer, and then him and Laurie have one more face-off. They're like, we wanted to give Michael back, and they haven't said this, but I guarantee you it will be said at some point. We want it to be like a gift when you get Michael back at the end, like, hey, we got him back. No, it fucking sucks. Copycat killers are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm going to get this little rant off. Because I've watched a lot of like Halloween retrospectives over the last like couple weeks because we just got through Halloween and kind of like lackluster. Halloween's not as fun as it used to be. And when they did Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and I think that's an absolutely wonderful fucking movie. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
But they called it Halloween 3 for a fucking reason. Because they wanted people to come into the movie theater looking for Michael. That's called catfishing nowadays. So that movie got shit on because there was no Michael and the fans didn't want to do it because they were lied to. This movie, the entire synopsis of this movie in the trailers is Michael versus Laurie for the 6th time. One more time. We promise you this is it. This is like John Cena versus Randy Orton. This is it. But half the scenes of the movie that you find out are actually the copycat killer in the fucking trailer. They don't mention a copycat killer. They don't mention that there's any other part of this movie that's not Michael. That's called fucking catfishing. That's why all these fans hate this fucking movie. It's not because this movie's different. I don't give a fuck about different. You don't finish a trilogy off with fucking different. You finish a trilogy off, God willing, if you fucking had a plan, with a good fucking story around the main fucking character, Michael fucking Myers. It's not that hard. That's what happens with these dumb motherfuckers when they, like, Jurassic Park did this with the Jurassic World trilogy. The fucking Star Wars trilogy. They didn't have a fucking plan. And they wanted to put the movies out as quickly as possible. So, Episode 7 is a general remake of Episode 4. And then Rian Johnson's like, yeah, I'm going to be different so all the nerds on the internet really fucking love me and, fuck everybody else. And so he does The Last Jedi, and it's a kind of a mid-movie. It's not that great to me. And then the studio panics. JJ's brought back for the 9th movie, and we gotta make everybody, make all this fan fiction happen. So JJ's like, fuck it, whatever, put it out, cool. And the movie's not very good. But at least it's fun in most areas. The Halloween thing is Halloween 2018, where the fuck you want to call it, Halloween 40 or whatever, 40 years later, is a general remake of the first Halloween movie with a bunch of references stolen from the other movies. And then you had Halloween Kills, which is a Friday the 13th movie, badly written with annoying characters. And Michael is pretty much Jason. In this movie, Michael's not in the fucking movie. You don't do that. In the Jurassic World, they're like, I watched that fucking movie. 2 hours and 40 minutes of my life. There's 20 minutes of dinosaurs in that fucking movie. It was fucking terrible. Cody, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
How boring is that fucking movie? The only part I liked was the last 10 minutes when you see the old fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex killing another dinosaur again. That was it. Everything else, like, we gotta take care of these locusts. What the fuck? They don't know what to do with these fucking things. They're like, and here's the thing. I had another complaint. I'm sure I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
I gotta get this off my chest, though. Everybody complained about, everybody loved Godzilla the 2014 movie. Because it had deep characters and all this other shit. If you go back and watch Godzilla 2014, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and there's 20 minutes of Godzilla. It's a boring fucking movie. Godzilla versus Godzilla King of Monsters, which was a fucking fun fucking movie, and just like 2 hours and 20 minutes and 2 hours of Godzilla, everybody's like, well, there's not any human characters. They don't really mean that much. It's like, shut the fuck up. This movie's fun. And then Godzilla vs. Kong did the same fucking thing, but everybody loves the movie because Kong has fucking thumbs, so they think he's human. So it's like...
He's more human than human.
They did that right. I'm just so pissed off about this Halloween trilogy. Like, it sucked out all fun for me. I'm not even looking forward to a fucking Friday the 13th movie. And because they're putting out a fucking prequel series that no one fucking gives a shit about. A24. I'm like, oh great, so this is going to be like The Lighthouse. Face fucked a Friday the 13th movie. Like, look, this shit's really deep.
That'll probably be.
God, no, and the thing is, it's not Sean Cunningham. Cody, remember we kind of had a group discussion, and I kind of went off on it in the group chat with Alex and Jacob, where it's like, Jason's not even going to be in the fucking series. It's because Victor Miller, the guy who wrote the original movie, is the one that's in charge of the series, or he's commissioned it with his rights that he's got. Jason is a dead kid in his story. He can't reference Jason as a fucking serial killer in a hockey mask at all because he has no claim to that. So it's literally going to be like Jason's fucking mother and I guess like the stories of the people drowning at the lake and all the mysterious things going on. I'm like, I don't care about that. I want to see Jason kill people.
Crystal Cake.
It's not that fucking hard, people. God damn, I'm in a bad mood now.
But yeah, if
on a
anyone
positive
wants to
note,
listen to our thoughts on Halloween Ends, or
yeah,
we did an episode on
go
that.
Go back and listen to the episode because not enough people did for the misery that movie put me. I'm glad I didn't pay for that fucking movie. Fuck that. I'm paying for Peacock for fucking WWE Network, so the Halloween literally got none of my money. So fuck them. Anyway, Owen, do you recommend Lethal Weapon?
Yeah. Yeah, you should watch Lethal Weapon.
Okay, dude. Like, so you like legit? I know we're having fun with it, but legit, you did like it. And you think people would like it?
Yeah, like if you like action movies,
okay.
Yeah, you probably will.
Okay, Cody, do you recommend Lethal Weapon, sir?
I don't recommend Lethal Weapon.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong.
I'm gonna let you fish.
remember that was a thing a couple years ago on like Twitter. I'm gonna let you finish, but let me tell you why you're wrong, or something. I'm gonna let you fish.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce should have won that award.
Yeah.
But no, I can't recommend it. I just, like I said, the movie's fine, but it's not anything I would ever go back and watch. So I wouldn't recommend people to go watch it because it's just, unless you're just into 80s action movies, you're not really going to enjoy this film.
Joke's on you! I'm picking this movie in like a month. Again.
The same movie.
Yeah.
We're doing Lethal Weapon again.
Lethal Weapon Part
Yeah, I'm just
2.
like...
Not even the second movie.
No, Lethal Weapon Part 2.
It's just the same fucking movie. Oh, again.
All right, people, we're going to see if our opinions change this time,
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Maybe perhaps on a fifth rewatch.
Your mood will change there, Cody. What if like my episodes just turn into Spidey episodes and like we're gonna rewatch this to see if you boys like
Yeah,
this
it's just
shit,
torture.
You know?
You fucking if you say you don't like it, we'll fucking watch it again.
It's like the Jeffrey Dahmer meme that's going around that show him watching TV. He's like, "We're gonna watch this, and then I can let you leave," or some shit like that. And that's gonna be me. Like, "Oh, we're gonna watch Lethal Weapon for the 18th time, then I can let you leave." But anyway, yeah, going to me, I definitely recommend this movie. Just Cody is unique, and I hope, other than like my little rants and like the part in this episode where I had to go take a dump, don't detract from it. I think that when we do these episodes. It's boring if all three of us hate on a movie unless we're entertaining about it, like we were with Halloween Ends. I think it's boring if we all like the same fucking movie and just kind of like jerk it off. So it's interesting that Cody doesn't like it. I have to recommend it because, like I said before, everybody that I've recommended this to or even talked about this movie before, like someone just in general that I know, and like, have you ever seen Lethal Weapon? Like, yeah, I like that movie. Everybody's liked this movie. So I have to definitely recommend Lethal Weapon, and I appreciate you guys watching the movie. And we had some delays with this episode. Like you guys kind of like referenced y'all watched it last week. We were going to try to do it last week. Then Owen goes, "Surprise, motherfuckers! I'm going to New Orleans again."
Yeah.
And then Cody was like, we were going to do it Monday, and then Cody, it was just kind of a tight squeeze, which is during the work week, which I totally get. So we had to wait to this Saturday. So I appreciate you guys watching. And Owen, sir, I think this is where you're going to chime in with your next.
We're watching the next movie is a movie where the protagonist is literally me. He's 100% me. He's just like me, for real, for real. It's Taxi Driver.
On God, bro.
On God, dead ass. He's literally me.
Which I'll be interested to see. This is where he's like the psychopath, right? Kind of like.
You didn't even say. Did you even say what the movie was?
He's like he kind of becomes a vigilante a little bit. Is
okay.
Kind of the synopsis.
Did you even say what the movie was?
Oh, yeah, Taxi Driver. Yeah, I said
okay.
it.
And he did mention the title.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear. I guess.
I think you were still laughing about the dead ass part.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yes.
Then after Taxi Driver is what, Cody?
The Northman. So we'll be finishing up the Robert Eggers films for now.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I gotta say this off air.
Norseman.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So and obviously, like Owen and I enjoy Robert Eggers movies a lot, but I think we'll end up doing Nosferatu once it actually comes around.
I hope that comes out sometime.
I mean, yeah, I like vampire shit, so not sparkling vampires, but like Lost Boys, Dracula.
Yeah, Lost Boys is
that. So I'm
a
excited
fucking cool movie. We should do that sometime.
Yeah, we will one day. It's fucking awesome. But I like Nosferatu. I went back and rewatched some of the scenes from the original movie, and even though it's a silent film, they put a little music into it. It's still unnerving just looking at them.
Oh, he's also unnerving to look at in that new The Munsters movie. But mostly because that movie is terrible. Yeah. But
Nosferatu,
move right past that.
He's just like me.
So we got Taxi Driver, The Northman, and then Morbius. I'm gonna ask Alex if he's gonna rewatch that movie. I highly doubt it. But anywho, this episode should be coming out around Christmas time. So Merry Christmas to everybody that's listening.
Merry Christmas, you
Thank
fucking filthy animals.
You filthy animals. God, we need to do the Home Alone movies one of these days.
We did the first one, I thought. No,
we haven't done Home
we did.
Alone.
We didn't.
We did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Uncle Buck.
Uncle
and
Fuck.
that had the Home Alone kid in it.
Uncle Fuck.
So Taxi Driver is available on Showtime. That is the
you guys
only.
Have that on.
That is the only place I see that it's available.
I had a Showtime free trial to watch Twin Peaks season 3, and then I turned it off.
Yeah, we have Showtime as part of the Paramount Plus bundle or whatever that we have.
Okay. Well, I'll just rent it on YouTube. It's not a big
YouTube.
Deal. But anyway, everybody, Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next time. And as always, finish him.
Do it.
Finish him. Ugh.